This way forever. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Of our guests, we got two of our individuals. They'll be here in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be a student first, but it's gonna be a good day today because we got three guests, and our first guest we gonna start off the rip. Our first guest. It's my brother right here, man. This guy's like family. This guy's my pastor. He's my minister, my Bible study teacher. This is the guy that Eddie Murphy, when he was in the movie, saying Hercules. That's what she was talking about. We got a special guest on the show. This is the 2016 Hercules Scholarship winner, Mr. Denzel Goodlin. My man, how you doing?
I'm good, bro.
You good?
Yeah.
Long day, huh?
Long day.
I feel you. So for the people that don't know you, around NCCU, for the people who think they know you, let's tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from? What's your major? Why'd you choose to come to Central? What's your passion? Like, just let the people know who you are a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia, DMV, 30 minutes outside of DC.
Okay.
I'm a social work major with a minor in business, and one of the things that brought me to Central was, first and foremost, it's an HBCU, and I knew you can never go wrong choosing an HBCU. Second thing, my family went here, and when I got here, I just felt like this is where I had to be. I was choosing between Hampton or it was going to be NCCU.
Oh, HU.
Yeah, I was choosing between Hampton, man.
All right.
And then after some time, after some praying, I felt like this is where I needed to be. My passion is just helping people, making a difference, being out in the community, especially ministry, like ministering to people in any way, shape, or form, working with different people. That's what I was called to do, and I love it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Now, when I was watching Hercules video, you said that you got called to preach at a very, very young age.
Very young age.
Very young age. So just talk about that, because when I first met you, I thought you was like a football player, because you got the presence of a football player. But once you told me you was a pastor, I was like,
well, to set the record straight, y'all, I'm not a pastor. I'm a preacher. Yeah,
He's getting
not a pastor. I realized I was called to preach at 3, and when you're 3 years old, you do things based on your calling. So I would go home after church. I would put on a jacket, pretend it was a robe, and I would like preach all over the house. Like,
that's do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I did. But thing is, it was something that didn't just start and stop at 3. It kept going as years goes on. Like, I would preach in front of the mirror to myself. I would write down little sermons and all that. And the fact that nobody wanted to be a pastor or a preacher and none of that. So I would say, yeah, I want to be a cop. Yeah, I want to be a lawyer, doctor, all this stuff, because it wasn't popular. And then once I turned 17, and it was like 2 weeks after my birthday, I was in church, and I was telling myself, you know what, I think I'm going to answer this. Like, after seeing some preachers who answered their calling at a young age, and after realizing that God has done so much for me, what do I really have to lose? Then I decided, okay, I'm going to take the step, and I accepted my call.
That's what's up. Do you remember like your first time preaching? Like did you have any butterflies?
Oh, yes.
Because when with some preachers, they say like when they would call to preach their first sermon, they usually up there shaking.
Yeah.
They don't know if the people gonna really feel what they're saying. So when you first preach your first sermon, do you remember what book you was preaching out of?
Yes, I remember. Oh man, I remember everything. I preached out of Matthew, and at that time when I preached, I like misinterpreted the text so bad. But it was one of those sermons where you can get away with it, and I didn't preach so much off of the text, but like I preached. As a matter of fact, my first sermon is on YouTube. All you gotta do is type in my name, Denzel Goodlin, and it's gonna come up, Family and Friends Day, and that's my very first sermon. I have other sermons on YouTube as well, but my first sermon, I was nervous. Oh my God, I was nervous. It was a packed house. My first time doing it, I was nervous, man.
That's crazy. I remember when I heard you preach it, I realized that your family, they always come to all your sermons. So, what impact does your family have on you? Because, being, a man of God, and in this journey that you take it with Him, like, how does your family feel about where you are right now in your life? Like, how do they feel about you being a preacher? How do they feel about you getting your education? Like, how do they feel right now about you?
My family is my biggest support system. My family, they've had my back. Since I was young, they always knew that preaching was in me. They always knew that someday I would make a difference. Someday I would do this. And since I started preaching, my family has held me down. I was brought up in the church my entire life, and most of my family, we all went to the same church. So growing up, they always held me down. Like, they were always supportive of me, and it comes from both sides, my mom's family and my dad's family. So they're really my support system.
That's what's up. Well, listen, man, we're going to keep it locked here with Denzel. He still got a little more time, so he's going to kick it with us. We're your student in this information station, Channel 3.1 AudioNet. This is The Juice. Keep it locked. The Eagles of NCCU. This is Channel 9 AudioNet 3.1. We are The Juice, the hottest HBCU radio station in the nation. We still kicking it here with my boy Denzel Goodlin. Tony, you got some questions for him?
Yeah. So, of course, with me being a PK, I've always lived the life of, somebody's always like, oh, you're the preacher's kid, so you should be, this and this and this, you're supposed to be always in the church, you're supposed to be always dressed up and stuff like that. Now, in some instances, I do that.
Y'all be the main ones turning up, though. That's the crazy thing.
True. Hey, some of the PKs I grew up with, they were the main ones in the club dancing.
Yeah.
But so basically, how has people depicted, I guess, the way you live versus, the way you minister? Because I know a lot of people say that, you're a minister, but at the same time, they try to say that you can't have fun and everything. Like, explain how that goes.
Okay, so when I was a junior, because that's when I accepted my call, let me just tell you how it went down. So when I accepted my call, I told my girlfriend about it, and my youth minister had got me this Bible, and it had my name on it. Now, when I accepted my call, I only told a few select friends. I didn't really tell nobody. Mm-hmm. So after I told my girlfriend, she went on Instagram, put the Bible up with my name, and started saying that, oh my God, I'm so proud of my baby. He finally accepted his call. I'm so excited to be a future pastor's wife and all that stuff.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
she was ready.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God. And so the next day I came into school. I mean, everybody came up to me and was like, hey, pastor. Hey, the pastor. How you doing? And I was just like, oh, man. So for that whole year, I wrestled so much with how it's supposed to be, because I thought that, especially being in a church filled with older people, and I was the youngest, minister in the church. Yeah. So I thought I had to be a certain way. I thought I had to live religious or try to live perfect. And it bothered me. Like, I tried, whenever I would fall, I used to feel so guilty whenever I was sin, because I always tried to be perfect. And then I spoke to my youth minister about it, and he told me something that stuck with me. He told me, do those people wake you up in the morning that you're worried about?
Oh Lord, here you go preaching.
Yeah. I was like, do they wake you up in the morning? I was like, nah. He asked, so what do they really do for you that you have to be worried or concerned about them? Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I see where you're going. And I think from that, I started learning that how everybody feels doesn't matter, honestly. Through anything you do in life, it does not matter. And your relationship with God is literally between you and God and nobody else. So after hearing that, I started learning, like, yo, if I want to go out to a party, I'm gonna go out to a party.
Because I went with him one time.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have fun.
You got to have fun. Yeah. And that's and my elder, let me tell you, my elder, who was like the boss of the church, even told me to get all of what you have in you out right now while you can, because don't try to be like some of these preachers who try to live perfect and religious their whole youth. Then by the time they become old, they try to revert back because of the stuff they missed out on, and now they messing with little girls in the church and all that stuff. Like, for real.
It
happens. It happens. Like, and that's what I learned is, like, through my high school, I got out everything I wanted, like, everything I wanted to do, I did it. Like, if you want to have fun, you got to learn. If you want to have fun, have your fun. But you also have to learn how to control yourself, too.
Right.
You got to know when enough is enough. You got to know, okay, if I got church the next morning, don't do anything too drastic the night before that will prohibit me. Like, you got to handle your priorities.
Right.
It's a balance.
Right.
It's a balance. But, man, I had a blast in high school, yo.
Okay, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
I had fun.
So I know that you go to St. Joe's right down the road.
Yes, sir.
So kind of tell me about how your experience is so far at St. Joe's.
St. Joe's is an interesting church. It's a nice church. Great pastor, Pastor Owens. Me and him are pretty cool. But I will tell you, it's a lot of older people at St. Joe's. And so what I'm trying to get done while I'm here on campus is to connect Central and St. Joe's to start coming together. Because you'll be surprised that a lot of people, when I tell them, yeah, I go to St. Joe's, it's right up the street, and a lot of people don't know where that is. And then when I refer to, so you know Coco's? And then they say, yeah.
exactly.
And then I say, yeah, it's a church right across the street from Coco's. So I'm trying to build a connection, because it's kind of surprising that there's a church right here that students don't know about, and then even as the church, they don't do enough for the students.
Right.
So I'm trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah. And see, sometimes it can be hard. You know, I know growing up, my parents, when they grew up, my mom, she was missionary Baptist. My dad, he was AME Zion. And of course, a lot of times, a lot of people had different aspects or different ideas about different denominations. And I knew that, you know, that's something that I want to focus on, you know, later on, you know, breaking those denominational barriers. Because a lot of times, you know, people say, okay, you're AME or AME Zion, so your church is full of old people, or you're Pentecostal, you shout all the time,
all that
or
stuff.
you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I want to, you know, focus on one day, is breaking those denominational barriers and seeing that, you know, making everybody realize, like, look, you know, we're all in it for one purpose.
It don't matter. I mean, if you Kojic, Presbyterian, Baptist, none of that stuff matters. As long as we worshiping the same God, we worship different ways, but as long as we worship, because all that stuff is just, it's petty in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just petty.
Yeah.
So okay, so with you, you know, being a pastor, you know, and you seem like you're a real outgoing guy and everything, is there somebody, you know, special that has got your attention now?
Yeah, there is.
That's what's up. So, you know, we gonna keep it like, you know, we're your student information station, Channel 9 AudioNet 3.1. This is the Juice, the hottest HBCU radio nation in the nation. Keep it locked.